We offer our humble prayers and invoke the blessings of the Divine Almighty to bless us with grace, peace, knowledge, happiness, prosperity. Our gratitude and salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Okay, now we are on this Divine Discourse number 39, 20th of May 2020. Sharvari Nam Samvatsar, Uttarayan, Vasant Ritu, Vaishak Mas, Krishna Paksh, Trayodasi, the 13th day, from the full moon towards the new moon, in the Wednesday. So now, yesterday, we studied about the verse number 9, wherein it was told that whatever we do has to be done in the spirit of a yajna. Yajna is where we cooperatively do an action. You may be doing independently, but you have to have the feeling that yes, that this particular task is done by me for the interest and benefit of everybody. Like a simple act of working at home or at office or in the society outside. So there you are dedicating yourself primarily. And the purpose behind this, what Lord Krishna is trying to slowly build up is, he's trying to say that you give up your sense of I or that egotism in you. That is what he's trying to slowly communicate over here. Whenever you do anything, don't do it for your self-praise or that feeling of high what you get over there. Don't have that in your mind. That is the biggest culprit. Here you have to give up that sense of I-ness, that minus, for me, for my near and dear. No, work in the larger interest. And then he talks about, in the verse 10, he spoke about the cosmic community. By and large, you are not one person here. It is like a leaf from a big tree cannot say that I am independent. It's a part of the whole tree. Right from the roots, the trunk, the branches, and then the side branches, and the twigs, and there you are one leaf among so many thousands of other leaves. So you don't try to say that I am separate here. No. Have the feeling that you belong to the cosmic community. And there we studied about that hand yesterday, like your own hand, if it says, I am going to be independent, I'm not a part of this whole body. It cannot, because the entire nourishment for that particular hand comes from the body. And work with dedication to the Lord. As they say, great things can be accomplished if one works without caring for who gets the credit. That is the sense of dedication or devotion to the Lord, where you have completely surrendered and you have said that, yes, I am doing here for the sake of the Lord. And then, okay, when you say you are in a cosmic community, then what other duties do you have for the cosmos. Prosper, they say, prosper in the performance of these yajnas, sacrifices. What are those sacrifices? So primarily we understood about the 5 basic sacrifices yesterday. The Brahma Yajna, Rishi Yajna, which is where you keep in touch with the sacred texts, the sacred books of one's religion, read them, understand them, and imbibe them in your life. It is a kind of a satsang which is there within your house all the time. Anytime convenient to you, you take up a book, you start reading and understanding, you are in a satsang. You don't have to go at a designated time to a designated place to understand something. Isn't it? In the same way, like they say, you be in touch with this. Second, they talk about the Manushya Yajna, where in the Manushya Yajna, gratitude and a sense of helping nature to each and every person possible. Here, a lot of importance in the olden days under the Manushya Yajna has been given for a Atithi, a guest. Reason, in those days you didn't have any facility for any kind of an accommodation. So people used to come to anybody's known house or sometimes even to an unknown house and announce themselves. And there was no communication also those days. There were no telephones, nor you had any other internet or any kind of a facility. So you just drop in somebody's place. And the designation given to such a guest was Atiti Devo Bhava, meaning a guest is like God. See, when we look at this, when we see of the guest meaning, we always look at, okay, I am the host and I am seeing a guest, and what kind of a situation I'll be when somebody comes unannounced. But imagine if you are on the other side, where you go to somebody's place unannounced. That also happens, isn't it? And as they come unannounced, that is the reason the name Atiti came. Titi means a stipulated time. As we ask, Konsa Titi Acha hai? Which time is good to do a particular act. So the terminology Titi means time, and Atiti means who has no time, meaning who comes unannounced. That is how the word Atiti has been derived. And to such a person, you have to be, first of all, grateful. Look at him as God who has come to your place. Make that person comfortable. In Aitariya Upanishad, there is a whole chapter about how to treat a guest. And what is a home of prosperity? A home of prosperity is that at any point of time, be it at 2 o'clock in the night, if a guest comes, there should be food ready for him to be served. Those were those days, and those were the rules. So this is like gratitude to people who have helped you in all walks of life, and especially to an Atiti. Then the Bhuta Yajna, be kind to animals, birds, insects, and take the example of your own bacteria. You are thriving. All the good bacteria which is in you, because of which you are living healthy today. And then the Pitru Yajna, which I said I will tell you what is about life after death, how it happens. And then the last one was the Deva Yajna, for all the cosmic deities. We have 33 crore gods, isn't it? So now all these 33 crore gods, how they are contributing to the entire functioning of the cosmos. They are at a much larger and a subtle level. We are at a much grosser level. So whatever oblations we give in the form of yajnas, that reaches those gods and it strengthens them. So the creator of this entire universe, he has created in such a way that there is a give and take between both the sections, the devatas and the manavas, where a prescribed code of conduct has been given to a manava, and that manava has to perform, which strengthens the devatas. So it is a self-replenishment strategy which Lord has used over here. In other words, it's a recycled benefit of strength. The devatas give us strength and we give the devatas strength. So we get strength and we have to give strength, reciprocating between each other. So now let's come to the Pitru Yajna. Sometime back, Suresh Ganguly had asked a question about we don't know what happens after our forefathers, parents, they have expired and we don't know in which place they are. Assuming that they have gone to the Punya Lokas, then what is the point of we offering oblations? This was that question where I had answered in brief. Because we do not know where they are going, so it is the duty of us to keep giving, doing the Tarpan and the Pinda Pradhan every year, so that they get food on time for their well-being. Now, we start from a living person. We had discussed in the past about the three types of body we have: the Sthul Sharir, gross body; subtle body, the Sukshma Sharir; and the Karan Sharir, which is the causal body. You all remember this, or should I just take a recap on this? Please let me know. Okay, Deval, thank you. Now we have three kinds of body, which is the first and the grossest is the physical body, which appears to you in flesh and blood and bone, skin. Now this is made up of the 5 elements of nature, and then we have the subtle body, which comprises of 19 parts, which are the 5 pranas, the life forces which we breathe in air. So there you have prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. These are the 5 life forces within you. So we only know about actually prana, where we think, we are breathing in and breathing out, breathing in. That is the only prana shakti what we are aware. But there are 5 prana shaktis which are operating. Prana will be breathe in, breathe out. Apana will be the reverse functions, which are the excretory functions of your entire body. Excretion from in all manners, which basically cleanses your body. And then vyana is the food which enters your stomach, which is digested. So this air helps in digesting the food what we have eaten, because this needs a certain amount of pressure and push. So that air gives all this kind of a pressure and push in the body, and this is for the digestion of the food. Udana is a Shakti which is for the reverse functions again, which is for sneezing, coughing, then you're burping, importantly for at the time of death, the jiva to be ejected from the body. And one of the most important function apart from this for this Udana Shakti is to give you thoughts from moment to moment on a continuous basis. Now you must be wondering, where is these thoughts coming to my mind? Sometimes they are bombarding on my mind. Sometimes you have very less thoughts. And please understand, these thoughts don't come at your will and whims and fancies. It comes in its own way, haphazard, from different subjects, from different corners. So there is no relation sometimes. So this Udana Shakti sends these based on your prarabdha karma. Because on the basis of a thought, you are going to act. And on the basis of that act, you will reap happiness or you will reap misery. And at the same time, you will be performing punya or you will be performing pap. So to keep you on the lines of your earlier prarabdha karma, this Udana Shakti does that activity. Then the last one is samana, where the food which is digested, the nutrients which are created in the stomach, they go to various parts of the body. This is the sigma 6, you can call it a sigma 100. It works in that precision. It is properly in the right ratio and the right vitamins are distributed to various organs of the body in the right manner. Where vitamin A has to go, there vitamin D will not go. So this is the job of the samana. So likewise 5 pranas. Now we're talking about the subtle body. 5 pranas, then 5 sense organs. What we have there? 5 sense organs. That is, you know what are the sense organs. Then the 5 organs of action. Hands, legs, power of speech, your excretion and procreation. These are the 5 power of organs of action. Then you have finished 15 now, 5, 5, 5. Now the 4 are mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Mana is mind, buddhi is intelligence, chitta is memory, and the 4th one is ahankar, which is your egoism in you. That I am doing this, I am doing this. Now that is our biggest enemy. Okay? So 19 parts comprise of this subtle body. Now after this you have the Karan Sharir, the causal body, which is the reason for these 2 bodies. How? It has the seed of your entire account, of your pap punya, of your tendencies, your desires, your aspirations, all that is stored in this Karan Sharir. And that is the place which is by default born with ignorance. Ignorance of what? What is your true self? And misapprehension of the fact that what you are seeing as not true self, you consider it to be real, and you are never ever looking at the real truth, which is God and God alone. So these 3 bodies. Now what happens? God gives you enough notices. If you see, you start getting older and older, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Now in current age, like this is the time, 70, 80 is the kind of a time. Rarely you see people who are 90s and 100s. He gives you a slight diminishing eyesight. Gives you cataract. He gives you gray hair. Hearing loss at one point. Knee problems. Body problems. Health problems. Now these are all notices saying what? Please look at me. I am your creator. You have never had the chance even to thank me once. But some recognize and turn towards God, some don't. And finally a date comes where there is death to the body. to the person, meaning this jiva which is there in the body, it's ejected from the body. And how does that happen? There are 9 gates to this entire sharir. 9 gates are 7 are in the face. 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth. 7. And 2 are below your waist. Now this jiva can eject out of the body through any of these gates. For some it goes from the eyes, for some from the ear, from the nose, or from the mouth, or even from below. So depending on the person, of his karma and how he has lived his life, this life is ejected from the body. And for very noble souls, it goes from the Brahmara Randhara, which is the Sahasrara Chakra, the crown of your head, which you must have noticed when a small, if you keep your hand on a small baby's, newly born baby's head, you will see a kind of a opening on the crown, which is like that skull, there is a hole there. So for Mahatma, sages, Gyanis, the life ejects from there. So now the life is ejected. What is ejected from the body? The body, which is the first sthula sharira, remains out here. You have the gross body here. And the subtle body and the causal body, they both come out of this body. That is the reason they say, he is dead and gone. He passed away. Mar gaya. They just don't say mara. He mar gaya. He went. Who went? The person with the sukshma sharira, meaning his mind, his intellect, his memory, and his egoism, all along with the prana shakti and the 5 senses and the 5 organs of action, all these tendencies, they go out of the body. Now what happens? You see the dead body lying over here, which is cremated in the manner as per the religion. But now the sthula and the karana sharira have to take up a journey. That is the interesting part over here. It doesn't have a body. It is subtle. And there a yatana sharir has to be, it has to get a yatana sharir. So that's where all the rituals and the practices come in place. Where on the first day, post the death of the person, when the prayers are done, the first day head is made. Second day the neck. Third day the heart. Of what now? Yatana sharir, to take this subtle body or this jiva to the reporting center. I'll come to that, where it is. Third day the heart. Fourth day the back. Fifth day waist and shoulders. Sixth day the pelvic region. Seventh day the thighs. Eighth day the knees. Then the entire legs. And the 10th day, a complete shuddhi is done for the whole body. Now the yatana sharir is ready for journey, and with other rituals, either on the 11th day or the 13th day, as we call as the Vaikuntha Samaradhan, then the journey starts. Now, where this body has to go? All the bodies, noble, ignoble, good, bad, ugly, all the bodies have to report at Lord Yama's office, which is in Yamlok. Sayamani is the name of the place. We call it Yamlok, but the Sanskrit name is Sayamani. The distance is about 86,000 yojan, which comes to 10.32 lakh kilometers. And daily, this Yatana Sharir can cover about 247 yojan, which means about 3000 kilometers a day, and it takes about 348 days to complete the entire journey. There are 16 stations where this Yatan Sharir has to cross and go. Now here what happened? For a jiva which is other than a meritorious jiva, they come under one category. The second category is meritorious. But firstly, the meritorious category, what happens to them is they get on their death, as we say, the Yamaduts come over there, right? That is what we have generally heard. But for people who have led a meritorious life, they get a charter flight right at their doorstep. And with all the divine air host and hostesses, they receive you and they take you in the flight straight to Sayamani. So it's a matter of in a few hours you're there, and while you're in your entire travel, you are taken care of extremely well with all reverence and respect and comforts. Now coming back to the ones who are not under the meritorious. Now we don't know. Now for them, their position will be understood only when they go to the Yamlok, because there the assessment will happen. For them, they will have to go by walk, crossing the 16 stations. Yamyapur, Gandharvapur, Shelgrampur, Krurpur, Vichityapur, Bhukpur, Rudrapur, and the last station is Bahubitipur. I just gave a few names. And in Garud Puran, it is explained that, every place, every station, the road in between has got a different texture altogether. Some places it is steamingly hot and you don't have footwear. Some places there are rocks, pointed stones on the road. Without footwear you're going there. And some places it's extremely cold. Some places there are worms and insects, deadly insects on the road. You have to cross them and go. There are thorns. So likewise, all this happens for a jiva. Now, whether the best part is after this. Let's go to the assessment part and then understand. Okay. Now all these jivas go there, and after 11 months you reach the Yamlok, and there is a huge queue over there where now the immigration has to happen. Even the highest devotee who has gone by flight, he also has to go to the immigration center, that is to the Yamlok office. But for him, like, it's a straight walk away. The officer, as soon as he lands over there, the officer will get into his flight and he will do all the immigration documentation for him, give him a seal of approval, and he says, yes sir, we know, we have advance intimation, you are going to the Vaikunt or to the Kailas, and he sends them off. Now the rest of the category who have come by walk, now for them, they wait in the queue. And they say the office of the Yamaraj is about 330 square miles. That is the size of his office. There for male, you have an assistant known as Shravan, the assessing officer. And for the female, you have Shravani. They do your assessment. How? You have a CCTV camera within you. So all that has been recorded, whatever you have done. So which means even a thought, a wrong thought also is recorded. And a biochip from you, which is in your Atma, it is taken and it is downloaded, processed, and you wait for the result. Red color, you go to hell. Green color, you go to heaven. Now, this is the point which I wanted to tell you. In spite of going through all this as a jiva, there you are qualified to go to heaven, which means you have good merits. So based on the merits what you have, you will be sent to heaven, where there is youth all the time, there are no diseases, there is no hunger, no thirst. You can eat, drink, whatever you want to your heart's content. There's lots of fun over there. You enjoy yourself, and then the next birth is already decided. In what womb you will get. You'll get the womb of an insect or a bird, or into the lower worlds, which are the deadly, ugly worlds, 7 lower worlds. We are on the 7 upper worlds in the first place. First meaning the lowest of the 7 upper world comes the Bhulok. So they go to Narak and heaven, and for some there is no decision. The processing says the third category, decision awaited, so they all go to Pitrulok. And in Pitrulok, they have to wait till their next life is decided. So being this scenario, now what has been advised as us in the yajnas for living humans is you keep offering oblations to the ones who are deceased. If they have by chance gone to the higher astral worlds like the Vaikuntha or the Kailash, then whatever is offered by you at the behest of the person who has gone to the higher worlds, it will go to his friends or whomever he has nominated. So there is a nomination form as well, which will all that documentation will be done in the Yamlok, Sayamani, when the person is sitting in his aircraft, the chartered aircraft. So that time, sir, since you're going straight to the Vaikuntha or the Kailash, you tell me all the oblations done by your children which come to you, whom should we give? So they nominate. So likewise, this whole thing is structured. This is something which one has to be aware as to how this whole cosmos is functioning. There are 7 lokas, upper worlds, 7 lower. Bhu is Bhumi, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Satyaloka is the final where Lord Brahma is there. And then you have the 7 lower worlds. Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. These are the 7 lower worlds. And 14 together are called as one Brahmand. And likewise 14, apart from this, there are various other astral worlds, the periphery worlds, like heaven, hell, and various other categories. Like this, there are crores and crores of Brahmand. This is the entire structure. Now, when we are doing this study of the Bhagavad Gita, and we are learning the art of living in terms of how do we escape from all this nonsense? How is it that I can go to a Vaikuntha or a Kailash? Or how is it that I can get liberated even while living here? That category I did not speak over here. Because for them even that immigration is not there, since they are realized while living. So this is where we have to pay attention. Now we are doing the Karma Yoga. After we finish the Karma Yoga, we'll go to another great chapter, which is the Bhakti Yoga. For karma, you need a lot of intelligence, you need that dedication and, for karma, basically offering to the Lord. Under the Jnana Marga, you need that intelligence, that intellect to understand what that true essence of God is. Assuming that that is something difficult for us to achieve. Just an assumption. Then we have the Bhakti Marg. Bhakti Marg is love, and I don't think anybody is short of love over here. Everybody knows how to love. You have to enhance your love towards God, which we have been doing in this materialistic world. We have to dedicate it to the Lord. And once you do that, then you forget about all these other categories. They look forward for a charter flight. Straight. So in a way, I have told you what the picture is. And I hope I have sufficiently lured you all or given you all a bait as to, for the rest of our lives, how we should move forward and see that we decide what kind of a journey we are going to take.